Welcome back to the channel. Today we have something really interesting to take a look at. I received a care package from SEEED Studio, and the gadgets they sent me are designed for off-grid tracking, IoT communications, and mesh-style connectivity. They sent me over 3 pieces of hardware for us to check out: the T1000-E, the Wio Tracker L1 Pro, and the Solar Node P1 Pro. Now, after spending some time with these devices, I can tell you that these are very beginner friendly. There's a little bit of setup process, but not too much. And it's a good way to get your foot into the door when it comes to Meshtastic or MeshCore. But in this video, we're going to be flashing Meshtastic, but if you want to flash MeshCore to these devices, you can. My goal here is to unbox it and just give you a brief setup guide to get you started. Now, lastly, before we go any further, I want to try something a little different in this video. Instead of me just putting music and then having you guys watch the unboxing and then jumping into the setup process, I'd rather talk about the specs of these devices and then cut into the setup process. So let's start with the Wio Tracker L1 Pro. First thing worth mentioning is the price. The device comes in about $46.99, so like $47, which actually puts this in a really interesting spot for Meshtastic hardware because it's fairly affordable compared to many of the other ready-to-deploy LoRa nodes. Speaking about being ready to go, this one comes pre-flashed with Meshtastic, so you don't have to do any of the work of flashing the firmware or even setting up this device yourself. The only thing that you would need to do is connect to it over your mobile app, which we'll get into later, and just selecting the region to make sure you're talking on the right radio band. Hardware-wise, it's fully integrated with LoRa Tracker node, so it already includes a lot of the things people normally have to build themselves. Some of the key features include a Nordic nRF52840 processor for low-efficiency power operations, LoRa communication using the SX1262 radio, supporting frequencies from about 862 to 830 MHz, a built-in GPS module for location tracking, a 1.3-inch OLED display so you can see devices' status directly from the unit, and a rechargeable battery inside a rugged enclosure, making it ready to go for field use right out of the box. Now, because of that combination between LoRa, GPS, and Meshtastic, this device can be used for a lot of things: off-grid messaging, location tracking, outdoor adventures or hiking, emergency communications or networks, or building your own distributed mesh network. Next up, we have the SenseCAP card tracker T1000-E. The first thing that you're going to notice about this device is how small and compact it is. It's literally about the size of a credit card. So if you wanted to, you could easily fit this right into your wallet or your pocket, or attach it to gear without adding too much bulk at all. So let's talk about the price. The device typically comes in around $40, which is actually pretty impressive considering that you're getting a fully integrated Meshtastic tracker in a credit card form. Inside the tiny device, there is quite a bit of hardware packed in. Some of the key features include a Nordic nRF52840 microcontroller, which is quite commonly used in a low-powered IoT device like this. A Semtech LR1110 LoRa radio, supporting frequencies roughly 863 to 928 MHz, depending on your region. It has a built-in GNSS GPS module for location tracking, Bluetooth connectivity so you can compare it directly with the Meshtastic mobile app, which we'll get into later, a 700 milliamp hour rechargeable battery, which is impressive considering how tiny this little device is. Now, this is a really cool feature of this device. The device has an IP65 rating, meaning that it's protected against dust and splashes of water, making it sustainable for outdoor environments or field use. Because of its size, the device really works well for things like personal location tracking, backpack or gear tracking, hiking and outdoor activities, or just carrying a portable Meshtastic node with you everywhere. All right, next up we have the SenseCAP Solar Node P1 Pro. Now, this is definitely the largest device out of the 3, and that's because this unit is designed to be a fully self-contained outdoor Meshtastic node. So let's start with the price. So this price varies to where you're at. So I saw it anywhere between $95 to $90, so just assume just under $100 you can get this. Now, you're getting a lot of hardware for that price, as well as the solar panel, battery, and a GPS built into it, which we'll get into a little bit later, but that's a lot for this kind of price tag. Now, right away, you can tell this is designed for outdoor deployments. In the front of the unit features a built-in solar panel, which is designed to help keep the system charged while it's running out in the field. So inside the enclosure, you get support for 18 650 batteries. So without the sun, if it's at night, this thing runs off the battery. So during the day, it charges, and at night, it uses whatever it's stored up in its batteries. So it should be able to perform continuously. So under the hood, and you guessed it, it has a Nordic nRF52840, which we've seen all through these devices, which is perfect for low-powered IoT operations. You also get a SemTech SX1262 LoRa radio supporting frequencies roughly between 862 to 930 megahertz. It has built-in GPS module on the Pro model for location tracking. It has Bluetooth connectivity, so you can interact with your device with your other devices. Now, included with this kit, you also get a lot of hardware. So the hardware makes it perfect to attach this to a pole, because that's most likely you're going to be putting this on a tower or something like that. And they also give you a really nice antenna. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck when you buy this kit. Now, something to compare this to that we had in the studio before is the Atlevox beacon. Now, that was a same kind of setup, a solar independent Meshtastic node they can leave outside. You can set it and forget it. What I think I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting that on a tower. And I think I'm going to be flashing eventually the MeshCore firmware onto this and attaching this to the same tower. So I'll have two nodes on top of a tower. Now the tower that I'm be putting on is already sitting on a high elevation. And when the tower is fully cranked, which is a 30-foot tower, altogether is about 670 feet above sea level. So then I could test out the range between the both and see if there's any big differences. But something that I'm going to be doing in the future. So make sure if you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I plan on doing some fun things with this in the future. So let's go into my lazy style of building things. Now, I rarely look in the instructions. I kind of just try to figure it out, but I kind of want to do this right the first time. So you see, I put those two pieces of hardware together, and you can kind of tell just by looking at it how it works. So the little angle pieces, we're going to be putting the actual device itself. There's a little hole in the middle where you're going to be putting the antenna. And as you see here, everything's fully together here. So it's very simplistic to build. I would like to say I did this one without looking at the instructions, but I kind of peeked a little bit and I cheated, but you see, it's a pretty simple setup. Now, the last part I need to do is connect the clamp so you can actually put it on the pole. So I'm only going to put it on for now just so it's there, but you would have to take it apart, wrap it around the pole, and then screw it tight to get it to stay. But that's it. That's pretty much the whole hardware setup for this. And if you have two brain cells in a dream like I do, you can make this happen. Now, I'm pretty sure when you buy the Pro, it comes pre-installed with Meshtastic, but I didn't know that, so I ended up thinking how to do it myself. But if you hit this button twice, it gets it ready to pair with the computer. And you're going to notice here I'm on the Meshtastic flashing website here, selecting the firmware, hitting flash. And I'm just going to walk you through the process as if the device didn't have it. You're not going to probably have to do this, but this is just a good way to show you how easy it is to actually build this stuff and set it up anyway. So the way this one works is when you press the flash button, you actually got to get a file and rename it to current, put it on the device and replace the old file, and then you'll have the firmware. So this is a good way to update your device if you wanted to, or you could just use the app once you're done setting it up, and then you can update it through the app. But this is the old school way of updating it through Meshtastic. Now, you shouldn't have to go through that process, but I wanted to show the process anyway because I didn't know any better. So if you buy this device, just forget everything you just saw, and you would just need to do this part. So you have the Meshtastic app already installed, you connect to the device, you pair it, and now you need to go to settings and click region and select whatever region that you're in. So you can see me that I click United States, I hit save and configure. And once the device reboots again and it's configured to the right region, I'm ready to go. So it's really easy to set up. Now, I showed you the hard way because I didn't know any better. It should come with the Meshtastic firmware already built into it. But this is going to be the same process for all the devices here. Now, same thing with the T1000 Echo. You're going to turn on the device by holding the button, and you'll see a green light indicating that it's on. You're going to connect to the device. Now, I'm not going to show the pairing process because I accidentally did it earlier, so it's not going to make me do it the second time. But if it asks you for a pin to pair the device, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just like the other device, you need to set up the region so it talks on the right radio band, so it will interact with the devices that we have here. Click on settings, region, and scroll down to your region and hit save. And once this device reboots, it's ready to go. So the next time you connect to it, it'll be ready to chat. All right, now the Wio Tracker. So this one comes pre-flashed as well. So all you have to do is turn the device on, and then once it turns on, you're going to see the device pop up on the app, and you're going to connect to it over the Bluetooth connection. And now this time the pin's going to show on this one, so you're going to see that process happen. But this one will give you a different pin than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whatever pin it shows on the screen, just put it into your device. So by now you're going to be familiar with this process. Go ahead and select the region that you need to go. So either go through settings and click on your region, or click on the red icon you saw below, select your region and hit save. And then once it reboots, it's ready to go. Now, this is the reason why I like Meshtastic so much. It just works really well. It's really smooth and really easy to set up. Now, MeshCore is getting better. I think it's a little bit behind Meshtastic when it comes to user friendliness, but it is definitely good to have either or. Personally, I'm getting into both, so I can have both. So I don't want to limit myself to one ecosystem. But the SEEED Studio products are really easy to set up and beginner friendly. And I think they're fairly priced for what you get. Thank you, SEEED Studio, for sending this out to me. Now, like I said earlier, I'm getting into MeshCore. I haven't made too many videos yet on my channel. I will be, but these devices, I think I'm going to be putting MeshCore on them and making a video on them at a separate date. So stay tuned for that. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on these products in the comment section. Let me know what you think of them. What do you think about the pricing? Do you use any of these devices? What's your thoughts on them compared to other ones? If you want to support the channel, consider being a channel member. It really does help me to continue to make these educational, fun videos. This video is not sponsored. Everything here is just me getting devices from the company and me doing honest reviews on them and tests, etc. So the memberships really do help. Now, with the world the way it is, I think it's more important than ever to get into these spaces, to dive into these off-grid communication systems, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to look like, and it's better to be prepared than not. But for now, do me a favor and remember that safety is an illusion.